This week, I'm going to try and teach myself how to backflip on flat ground.
Don't need this anymore.
Hey, Bill, I'm in the mood for a switch up. I hit the function, hit the rose till I...
My whole life, whenever I've seen anyone do a backflip, I've always been so impressed. And I've always thought to myself how cool it would be to be able to just stand there on flat ground, jump up, fling myself around, and land a backflip.
Good.
Yeah. I've never had the balls to actually give it a go. There's definitely a level of fear, but this is what this channel is all about for me. Overcoming my fear, pushing myself past my comfort zone. I'm getting nervous sitting here talking about it, but it's time that I teach myself how to backflip flat.
Alright, so here it's probably important to tell you, I'm not a complete beginner when it comes to backflips, because I can do a backflip off a ledge into water.
But doing one on flat ground is apparently quite different to doing it off a ledge, and I really don't want to break my neck. So I decided to watch a YouTube tutorial on how to backflip without breaking your neck. I think a warning is appropriate for anyone who's wanting to try this. Be very careful. Do not attempt it if you're not certain of your capabilities, and make sure you always have at least one other person there to spot you. So I'm going to take a lot of safety precautions.
My goal is simple, to land a backflip without touching the ground on flat grass without any support. I believe that I can do it, but let's see exactly how long it takes me to overcome that mental fear.
Alright, so to begin with, we had to do a couple of warm-up exercises and movements that would get our body and our mind used to the idea of flipping backwards. I've tied a taekwondo belt around me and I've got my boys here on either side. They're gonna help support me. So if worse comes to worse and I'm coming down and land on my neck, they can hopefully hold me or at least slow the drop to the ground so that I don't seriously injure myself.
And so after a good 10 or 15 minutes of warming up my body,
it's now time to fling my body around the wrong way. To jump up and just fling it back. I know I've got to have my hands throw up to help the movement, and then I have to grab my shins and just literally like tuck back in a ball. Oh, why is this messing with my head so much? It's so easy the process getting up to there, thinking about it, yep, I can do it. But then that moment before you flip, it's just like, your heart sinks in your chest.
it was really messing with my head. I ended up having to let my brother go first, but I knew that if I was going to do it, I had to commit 100%. And it did take me a little bit of time to get there. But finally, I managed to do it.
Oh, yes! That feels good. But I still got to work on my technique.
And so I continued to practice over and over and over again. Each time I would try and work my technique on a slightly different area.
I slowly got the boys to reduce their support until eventually it was time to take things to the next level and attempt the backflip with only one person there supporting me.
And suddenly it was mind games again. Even though I had got it to the point where one person was barely holding me, it was still just messing with my head. But I knew that to get past this point, I had to push past that fear, because I know it's just a mental thing. And so finally, I managed to do it with just one person there supporting me. And so after practicing that over and over again, it was time to move on to the next level.
It was time to do it without any support. Oh God, this is gonna be tough.
Told her if it's all me, everything is on me, gon' back it up.
Woo! I guess I sort of got it, but I definitely haven't finished the challenge. I'm still on sand, I'm still using a mat, and to be fair, it feels like there was a slight bit of a slope. So it's time to step it up once more and take it onto the grass.
It was getting pretty late and I was pretty tired. That's literally 3 hours of just flipping. So unfortunately, it didn't go too well. I would jump up and I wasn't fully committing, but I didn't want to leave it on a bad note. So I'm gonna give myself one more shot. I just can't do it. Alright, I know I need a break, so I'm gonna come back at it tomorrow. Try not to lose all the stuff that I've learned today.
I'm back here at the park on day 2. Fingers crossed today's the day that I can finally stick the backflip.
It's been a good few hours since I last did this, so my nerves are kicking back in, but I got this.
It turned out to be a fair bit harder than I thought.
2, 1, fuck. Oh, fuck.
I was scared.
But I knew I couldn't let it hold me back for a second day.
Who's the man? Ah! Okay, that feels so good to get that out of my head.
So I won't bore you with what happened on the second day, but basically it was just repeat after repeat of backflip over and over again, trying to work on my technique. And I think it was really helping me mentally having the boys there trying as well. Eventually we took it down to the beach, where I had the balls to try it by myself, but it was on a bit of a decline angle, so it was definitely easier and a softer landing.
That was better, that was better.
But actually my technique was getting worse. I was jumping back too much and I wasn't tucking up into a ball. It's a good thing it's on sand because I'm landing very heavy. Watch this, the camera literally shakes when I land. So I know I've still got a fair way to go before I can land it on hard, flat grass. Woo! As much as I would have loved to stick it on day 2, I also know that I shouldn't push it. When I get tired, my form gets sloppy.
What's wrong, Laurie?
I think I've tweaked my ankle. It was really weird because like I landed fine, but now it's like give me like a delayed pain.
It's no good. Starting to slip off the one leg, mate.
So we decided to come back to it for day 3, after about 6 hours of flipping over the past 2 days.
This is the final day I'm giving myself to try and nail this backflip. I've pretty much got it yesterday, but to be fair, it was a slight slope on that sand, and it was sand. It wasn't grass.
And so I got straight back to work, practicing flip after flip. And to begin with, it was messing with my head again. I needed to get both my brothers there to support me.
Such a mental thing.
But after about 30 minutes, I managed to reduce the support bit by bit.
All right. I'm feeling really good. This feels like the best I've done it so far. So we're gonna move the mat back and I'm gonna have the mat behind me just like for my mental thing. So I know that there's something soft that I'm landing on, but I'm gonna jump off the grass. Feeling good.
And then getting my brother Joe to slowly release his grip on the belt.
I didn't like literally didn't even touch the bone.
Still not getting it. Every time that I can feel Joe like really holding my belt or my pants, it's like I'm committing more. But then as soon as it must be such a mental thing. I don't know, maybe he is giving me like a little bit of a lift, because as soon as I feel like he's loosening his grip, I'm not committing nearly as much as I do when I feel like he's got a tight grip. Like I'm coming out early, because like I'm almost like wanting to kind of put my hands up there to protect myself. It's crazy how much of like a mental game it is backflipping. It's like nuts. Literally in the last 3 days alone, I've had so many times I can remember where my head's just like, don't do it. But feels good that I'm like pushing past that.
All right, it's feeling better and better. I just took a little rest, tried it again. I think that was my best one yet. Now I'm gonna take the mat completely away. I'll still have Joe there, see what it feels like. This is getting exciting. Don't need this anymore.
And it was weird, it felt like I kept going in circles. It felt like some jumps I did well, and then sometimes I just lost my technique. And I kept having to give myself breaks. But I was definitely progressing slowly.
How was that? That's good. Fuck! Can't do it. It's so weird. Like I've literally done this with you holding a belt, like literally with just a tiny bit of a grip. And and as soon as you're over there, I don't know, I think I must be like tired mentally, physically, and I'm getting worse and worse. It's like a downhill slope and I really don't want to hurt myself. So give myself a break, maybe just for like even an hour or so, and then see how we go. All right, I've given it about an hour rest because I was not going well, but it's getting dark soon. So I've literally got probably 15 minutes to stick this. So fingers crossed.
I was absolutely determined to land it. I really didn't want to wait another day. So I just kept trying over and over again. But because my body was so tired, I kept falling forward and landing on my hands.
So it's just those 3 combinations of like jumping up more rather than back, jumping higher, tucking more so I can rotate faster. But it does feel like I'm almost ready to make the move and just send it by myself.
And then finally, as the light got darker and darker, something amazing happened.
It was so good.
That feels awesome.
Ah, it feels so good. It does feel really good. Feels like the progression from 3 days ago, doing it on the beach, to doing it now, literally just like without anyone around me, just and landing it without touching the ground. That was my goal. That was what I wanted to do. It feels really good that I've got there. Thank you so much, man. You've been
Mission achieved.
absolute legend. Woo! I just want to do it all the time now. So there you go. Challenge successful. I can't tell you how happy I am. Ever since I can remember, I've always wanted to be able to land a backflip. So I'm really stoked that I kind of was that determined just to land it properly and keep pushing until I got there. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know it's a bit of a different one, but I love challenging myself to stuff like this and pushing myself past my comfort zone. And as always, I will see you next week.